Hello and welcome to our new digital transformation series presented by Express Computers. Today we have Mr. Sankarson Banerjee, who is the CIO of RBL Bank, and will be talking about his digital journey and strategies to roll out the new cutting edge technologies. So, what are the major digital initiatives that you're taking?
This year, we have 2 or 3 major digital initiatives. We are transforming ourselves into what we call a digital hybrid bank. That is a bank with a traditional infrastructure but a digital front end, which allows us to significantly improve our customer delivery capabilities and to allow to mix and match. We are very heavily investing in cloud-friendly technologies such as Docker, Kubernetes, hyperconvergence, and in the front end we are investing in microservices and microsegmentation, so which allows us a great deal of flexibility without increasing the cost of deployments and the cost of change. That is our focus of digitization. And the other focus we have, of course, is obsessively studying our customers to understand what they want out of the digital universe. It's a new universe. It's not that we can find out by studying the past what we are going to expect in the future. So we have fair investments in understanding our customer, understanding hyper-personalization, understanding what customers are saying they want.
So, what are the can you highlight the key business outcomes out of these initiatives?
So 3 key business outcomes. One is cost to serve must lower up. Banks operate on very narrow cost to serve ratios. We must be very efficient at cost to serve. Our products are very similar. Each bank has roughly similar products, plus minus here and there. So we therefore must focus on what is the cost to deliver these products. And that has to be as efficient as possible. That's a big focus area for us. We are using automation, we are using digitization, we are using hyper-convergence to reduce that. The second big area is user experience. We have gone beyond user visual experience and interface experience to user journeys. How do we make the journey of a user frictionless and invisible? A user should not even have to think about whether it's a digital or technology-led journey. It should look like it's obvious and magical. And that is the new focus for us, to make these user journeys so easy to use and so invisible that people don't realize it's led by technology. The third focus is system reliability. The original theory of banks was that banks had some working hours and some idle hours. Increasingly, as we become digital businesses, there's no concept of idle hours. Banks are never shut. There's always some business process or the other that's going on. And increasingly we are saying we are all going to allow pretty much everything to go on all the time. You can make payments, withdraw money already. That's already a 24/7 business. We are going to say you can apply for a loan also at 2 o'clock in the night. You can apply for a customer service record change at 2 o'clock in the night. And so eventually banks will become basically a 24/7 business, where branches are open some of the time only to provide you a certain set of additional help, the activities you can do all the time. That means that our level of the way we have our internal systems also have to change. We must make sure that we have 24/7 availability, 24/7 recoverability, resilience, very like an e-commerce cloud business. That involves significant changes to our architecture, to our design. For instance, we don't have a backup window, so we can't do backups by shutting the system down, which is what traditionally banks have been doing. So we have to rethink what it means to do backups and go to continuous backing up and so on. That's the third thrust for us.
Correct. So, what are the best learnings, since you're so heavy on technology?
Learnings are one, a lot of it is to do with the people underlying the technology. Very often it is not necessarily the fanciest technology that yields the best results. In many cases, using technology that we already understand reasonably well can lead to results that are very good if the people can fit it to purpose, can understand the technology well and can mold it to satisfy the user journey or satisfy the cost to serve goals or satisfy the reliability and availability goals that we have outlined. So that is one big learning. The second is that there is a skill gap. Something that is a good answer will sometimes stumble because there is no the availability of skills and the understanding of what the risks that new technology entails is still relatively difficult to find. And so we often see very promising technologies stumble because we did not understand the risks. We did not understand how to deal with the exceptions. We did not understand who is supposed to do what to make it work. So that's one another learning that we've had. The other is, of course, investments. And one big learning that we keep repeating to ourselves, which we learned from the e-commerce companies and the first wave of smaller banks that digitized, is that 10% is about as easy as a 10x improvement. So the effort a 10% improvement takes and a 10x improvement takes is about the same. The effort is the same. It's just that one requires more ingenuity. And so if you focus on 10%, you will get 10%. If you focus on 10x, you will get 2-3x, but it will still be much better than 10%.
So how are vendor companies innovating themselves in order to help you in the digital journey?
So I must say, actually, most of our digital learnings come to us through our vendors. We do a certain amount of interaction directly with academia, with research institutes, and experiments on our own. But most of the time, we rely on vendors to give us the innovations that will work at industrial scale. And a large part of the reason is because we cannot sit around and invest in all these companies, in all these new technologies directly. It takes a long time for a technology to mature. We cannot sit around and have the budgets or the time or the resources to do this experiment at that level. We therefore rely on our vendors to bring it up to a certain industrial scale, show us the use cases, show us what can be done, and therefore allow us to adopt it. And that's been a continuous engagement for us. We run a key partner program where we take the partners that we think are most important to us and try and co-innovate. We do workshops, we do proofs of concept, we do research labs, and we work with multiple such partners, the bigger partners. All of them, we have tried to do workshops where we get exposed to their entire range of both established technologies and all the experiments they're doing in their labs with their other customers. And we try and make sure that we can adopt it. Is it useful to us? They in turn sometimes will come and ask us to adopt the newest technologies and the newest, most experimental these things and say, and we are happy to do that some of the time. The risk is high, but the rewards can sometimes be quite high. And so that helps them as well in maturing those technologies. So innovation for us is primarily led by us working with partners.